Hello and welcome, Holistic Chamber of Commerce family, to today's Member Spotlight, where I have with me Catherine Schiffer, who's going to be talking about how we can reverse our age, maybe the wrinkles, whatever, with stem cells. We're going to learn a lot about this. A little bit about Catherine. She's an author, athlete, mother, wife, grandmother, realtor, and director for LifeWave. She is not your average senior citizen. We were just talking about how she has her tentacles in all kinds of wonderful things. Welcome, Catherine.
Thank you, Laura. Nice to meet you.
Likewise. So let's talk about the basics. Like, what is a stem cell and why do we want to care about it?
Okay. So once upon a time, an embryo, an egg, and a sperm came together, and they created 8 baby stem cells. Our whole body is made up of stem cells. And when we're born, those cells go into not a dormant state, but they kind of, once the body is developed, they just kind of sit by the side and they wait for something to go wrong. So a stem cell is the only cell in the body that can become any living tissue. So when we're born, when we're children, when we're teenagers, when we're in our 20s, we have a plethora of these stem cells. And that's why we fall off our bike, we jump right back up, we heal quickly, we don't have wrinkles, we don't have chronic illnesses, chronic pain, we don't have gray hair, because we have a plethora of these stem cells, right? So the minute something goes wrong in our body, the stem cells say, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with the heart, and they become heart tissue. And they start repairing the heart. But as we age, but in fact, by the time we're 35, our stem cells have 40% of these stem cells have gone dormant. And that's why in our 30s, we start getting wrinkles and gray hair, and we start getting little aches and pains sometimes. We don't heal as quickly. And then by the time we're 65, 90% have gone dormant. And that's why after the age of 60, 65, you notice most people decline rather quickly. You know, we have all those chronic illnesses, chronic pains, and aesthetically, you know, we age pretty quickly. So a stem cell is the only cell in the body that can become any living tissue.
All right. And so you're talking about how it can reverse age essentially by, what is it? Is it like replenishing our stem cells, or is it helping to like wake up the dormant stem cells?
So the product that I represent, the company I work with, is called LifeWave. And it is a company that has, David Schmidt is the owner and the CEO. And he created, so 22 years ago, he was contracted by the our Navy SEALs, the people, you know, the Navy, and they said, listen, we need you to create something for our guys that will get them off of amphetamines, access copious amounts of caffeine, really help them, support them with energy and vitality while they're in these dark subs for so many months, right? And so what he created is he created a patch, and it is a patch that, and the first patch he created was the energy enhancer. So he didn't create the stem cell activation patch until 4 years ago, but this is how it started. And so the patch that he created, they would put it, you take it off. So that you take off the little back, it's a sticky patch. And in the middle, there is a crystal lattice that is aminos, not the aminos you put in your water, sugar, salt, water, and oxygen. And he was able to patent a wavelength of light that when put on the body, it would activate. It's activated by the heat of your own body. So if I looked at you through nighttime goggles, you would glow red. That's your red light. Like red light is all the rave right now, right? Red light, red light. Well, we already have our own red light. And David figured this out 22 years ago. And so and he had to have an alternative light source besides the sun, right? Because they were in a mini sub. And so what it did is it was patented to activate, to burn, for that patch, to burn fat, to create fuel for the body, which was giving them extra energy, was giving them an overall sense of wellness, because now you have your light, which goes out, being reversed and put back into your body. So then 9/11 happened and the funding got pulled, right? We went to war. And David's like, dang, this really worked. So he went to his best friend from college, who just happened to be the coach for the USA Olympic swim team for women. And he said, I have created this patch and I'm really looking at putting together a company that to move forward with this invention. Will you allow me to try them on your swim team? So the women, the USA swim team, the first day they put the patch on, they all beat their best time in the water because of that patch. And so over the years, he's created several patches, but 20 years ago, he's like, what is the future? Well, the future is stem cells, you know, and I think that it's a topic that's just starting to come to the surface. It's really, you know, doctors are realizing that, you know, they've said you can regenerate the lungs, you can regenerate the brain. You know, they said if you do that, you're going to kill your brain cells. Well, and they're never going to grow back. Well, they do grow back, and science is discovering that. And what he did is he created a patch. So 4 years ago, he came out with his X39 patch, and it's the same exact concept, except for that this patch, except for the X39, made with oxygen. There's nothing in this patch, you know, and that's what people ask me. Is there like aborted embryos? Is there stem cells in there? You know, the controversy about stem cells is, you know, it's valid, right? Like, where are they getting the stem cells? And we all know that it's cord blood from the mother that they're using for stem cells, for our makeup, for our healthcare products. And if you go to Brazil, you can get them injected into your knee for $10,000, and you know, and it helps. But he didn't want to go that direction. He wanted to create a patch that would actually activate our own stem cells. So with the same ingredients, he then patented this patch to go in and activate a peptide in the body called GHKCU. It's a copper peptide. And Lauren Picard was actually, he is the one who discovered copper peptides or peptides over 40 years ago. And so copper peptides have been out, they've been using them, but then they discovered that these copper peptides will also activate and turn on your own stem cells. So we are not putting anything into our body. We are not, you know, it won't counteract with any kind of medications we're taking. It's just using the light to activate a peptide and turn it back into our body and activate those stem cells that are our own stem cells.
Interesting. So let me ask you this. If someone tries your patch, like, how soon do they start to maybe experience some results? And what are some of those results that they might get fairly soon after wearing the patch?
That's a great question. And so I will tell you my own story about how I came to, so I've been on a journey of holistic wellness since I was 40. Because I lived a lifestyle prior to that where I was like trying to kill myself. You know, I come from a long line of trauma, you know, and as a result, you know, dependency on different things. And so when I was 40, my doctor said to me, he said, and had been smoking cigarettes for 27 years. And he said, Catherine, if you don't quit smoking, by the time you're 55, you will be on oxygen. Well, I'm 55 this year, and thank God I quit smoking, because now I'm not on oxygen. But that's what really started me on this journey. And all through my 40s, I started looking at, you know, I stopped doing the things, numbing out, smoking, drinking, all those things. And I started really looking at healing my body, because guess what? My first grandson was born 18 years ago. And I'm like, okay, so I have to live for a whole new generation. My kids are grown, but you know, I can't just die. I've got to live, and I want to live full out. And so
you're only 55. That's not a senior citizen. Okay. Do not start lumping us 50s as senior citizens.
Well, I can move to a senior citizen community.
This is true. Okay. So, go ahead.
We are considered, and I have AARP.
I know. Sorry, I digress. Okay.
Yes, but that's okay, because age is just a number, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what I figured out. You know, it's, yes, the calendar says I'm 55, but biologically, if you pull my blood, I'm actually only 45. So I have a 10-year, you know, I've been able to reverse the aging down to a point where I'm about 10 years younger than my calendar age. But lo and behold, as a result of smoking, to end of 2023, my doctor said, that stuff catches up with you and it doesn't matter. I quit, but it catches up with you. And so they had put me on an inhaler. I had developed a little bit of emphysema. I had neuropathy in my back as a result of decades of squatting with weights on my shoulder, and a chronic pain in my shoulder because I'm a bodybuilder. I'm an athlete. I compete competitively. So I'm a heavy lifter. And so I'm at the doctor and they're talking to me and, they're like, Catherine, you're just going to have to start getting used to this stuff. And I'm like, really? That's what you're going to tell me, or here, take this pain pill or, and so I was at church and my girlfriend comes up to me and she says, hey, I found this patch and this is what it's done for me. Want to try it out? And I'm so skeptical. Like besides my husband, who's a bigger skeptic than me, I'm even a bigger skeptic with stuff like this. I really research. So I tried the patch and I dove in to find out, what is a stem cell? Like, is there something I don't know about here? And I came to a place where I'm like, okay, I'm really going to give this a shot. So I purchased the product and I wore the patch for 1 month. Prior to putting the patch on, I was at a point in my bodybuilding where I could not do overhead presses anymore. This chronic shoulder pain was so bad I couldn't lift, I couldn't do chest presses, so I was having to modify. And if you're in love, you have a passion, and you can no longer do that anymore, it's very hard to deal with. So after almost 1 month, I was at the gym and I started doing overhead presses, and it didn't hurt anymore. And I left the gym like almost in tears, and I called my friend. I said, like, this stuff is working. I've been in chronic pain in my shoulder for a year, almost a year and a half, and I am now doing overhead presses. So what has happened, the stem cell, but the best part of that, I was off my inhaler the first month too. And I'd have been on a COPD inhaler for a year. And so the stem cells, once they start, the minute you put the patch on, the active peptides are activated and the stem cells start reviving, coming back to life. So what it said, and stem cells have their own brain. It didn't, I had pain in my shoulder, but the stem cells said, Catherine, your lungs are jacked. So we're going to go in and we're going to start working on your lungs first. And that's why I noticed I went off the inhaler right away. And then after a month, the shoulder pain went away. So that was the next thing it went to. And then the neuropathy in my back took 8 months. But as of 2 months ago, I am no longer doing the things I was doing for the numbness, for the burning, for the tingling. I have absolutely no neuropathy pains in my back at all. And that's how I started, because my own testimony blew my mind. But I have a team. So I have a team of women. I have hundreds of clients who are on the product. Fibromyalgia. I have a woman who was chronic fibromyalgia for 35 years, has no symptoms at all anymore. Why? Because the stem cells went in and repaired whatever damage was happening in the body that the doctors don't even know about. They don't know why we have fibromyalgia. It's just chronic pain, right? Well, the stem cells know, and they went in and they started taking care of it. I have a girlfriend who had 15 migraines a month, and now she's down to 2 or 3 because of the stem cell activity in her brain. I have a lady who just called me last week who's 82 years old, suffering with the pain of osteoporosis, been on the patch for 8 months, and she has no more pain in her body. These are the stories I get every single day from people in my world who have started using the patch. So those are the kind of so Miles, my friend from church, I patched him at a party, and he felt it immediately. He's like, oh my gosh, like I feel nothing. And there are one patch wonders. I'm not one of them, and the majority aren't. Most of us, it takes that time. So some people feel a difference right away. I gave a gentleman a patch last week who is on a cycling team, and he put it on his hip where he has pain, and he's like, you're not going to believe this, or maybe you will. But and he sent me the x-ray about the bone, with the bone on bone. He goes, I have been suffering with pain for the last 10 years as a result of this, and I don't feel anything. Now, that's because he put the patch on the pain, right? And the light goes into that area. It starts reducing inflammation, which will take the pain from a 10 to a 6 or a 4 or a 5, right? Because it's immediately centralizing in that area.
Interesting.
Yes.
So is this a patch that you put on and it like lasts for a month, or is it something that you have to do every day?
So when I wake up, so you get a sleeve like this, our X39, and it comes filled with a bunch, with 30 of these, right? And so in the morning when I wake up around 7, I put one on my back. I wear it wherever I want to. You can wear it wherever you want to. They say it goes well with acupressure points of the body. That's how the studies were done, but you can wear it anywhere. So I wear it 12 hours on, 12 hours on, and 12 hours off. And I do it. You know, they say, well, when do you stop? Well, you stop when you're ready to start aging again. That'll never be me. But I, now do I feel like I need to wear every single day? No. So maybe I can take, my 30-day supply and turning it into a 60-day supply, because now I'm wearing it every other day. But yes, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. And also you have to drink a lot of water, because our cells are made of water. And so once our cells begin to reactivate, and this is the only side effect I ever hear from anybody, the dehydration effect, plus headaches. So you will begin to detox immediately. So some people experience headaches as a result of that detox time, but only, drink a lot of water and give those cells what they need in order to flourish in the body.
Is this something that someone can go to your website and just purchase, or do they have to have like a membership of some sort? So if someone's watching this and they're like, "Ooh, I want to get started,"
Yeah.
what would they do?
So every client I treat almost like my patient. And so yes, you can go to the website and you can order yourself. But I personally would like to have a discussion with you in order to find out what's going on. Like what's happening with you? Because we also, the X39 goes with the Eon patch. So the Eon patch, this one reduces inflammation immediately in the body. So inflammation eats stem cells. So if you go order the X39 and you put it on, and your body's completely inflamed, well, the inflammation is going to eat those new stem cells, and you're not going to get the right effect. So I like to really talk to people, figure out what's going on with them, set them up on a regimen, and support them through the whole process. I don't. Every client is like a patient. I'm not a doctor, but yeah, that's how I would like it best. But you can go to lifewave.com/ripped, and we can put that in the chat, and you can find out more information about it. And we'll also give you my email address. That way you guys can reach out to me, and we can have a really lengthy conversation as to what's happening with you and what might be the best way for you to go about using this product.
All right, so I'm putting that in the chat right now. So if anybody wants to go to the website and just kind of browse, but if you're watching this and this is speaking to you, definitely send Catherine an email so that she can set something up with you. I like that you have a consult with people, because you're right. Sometimes it's kind of like supplements, oh, that sounds great, I'm just going to jump into it. But if we have something else going on that's actually going to cancel out, or the supplement isn't really addressing what we need to address first, you're basically just throwing your money away. So I think I like that.
And I invite anyone to my personal Facebook page, which is Catherine Schiffer. And you can message me there, or you can friend me there. Just to, I am a realtor. That's my day job. And this is something I do on the side as I build this company. So you'll see in my Facebook, it's real estate, but just go look past that, and send me a message, and we can get on a call.
Well, thank you so much, Catherine. Our time is up together. Thanks for sharing about stem cells and how we can reverse our age, because we are not senior citizens yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Well, it's who you are, who you think you are.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Okay.
All right, everybody.